Hello everyone, welcome here. Thank you for being here on time. I'm Sidney and I'm from the customer success team with Lark. So for today's session, we're gonna talk about base in general. I'm gonna give like 1 extra minute to wait everyone here, and at the same time, I'm gonna share the screen. Thank you so much for being here. So if you're new to us and you've never tried Base before, one thing you need to know about Base is that it's more than a data management system or platform. That is to say, from this system, you can, of course, basically collect the data, analyze it, sync it to the system that you want, and to manage them, to visualize your data in the way you need, and to do all the data related management based on this chart. And apart from that, another thing you really need, you really can do with this system is to build your workflow. That is to say, if it's only a chart for you to management the data, all the conclusion that you draw from this sheet, all the numbers that you need to inform to the others will be delivered by yourself, will be delivered manually. But within the system that is built on Base, you can have all the notification, all the workflows transitioned and transferred or notified, pushed into the right person or right the group, and to get the feedback from them automatically. And this feature can be supported by the automation feature. So that is to say, with Base, there are two things you can do. From the entry level, you can manage the data, you can visualize it in the way you want, only to master a few, settings and configuration, then you are good to go. And above that, you can have this system customized for you. It can be a sales revenue dashboard. It can be a ticketing system. It can be a store inspection system for you. So all can be a performance review chart for the HR team to manage. So after what you know, basis and the basic function that you get to configure, then you are good to go and explore your own. So for today's session, I'm gonna teach you guys the basic configuration and concept of the key feature, like what is a record, what is a field, how many types of fields that we support so far, and what can you do with it with these kind of fields. Apart from that, what is view? How many views we support so far, and what can you do with different views? And then how can you collect data? How can you sync data? How can you visualize the data through the dashboard you are seeing right now? And based on that, how to use automation to send the notification card to the person that you want to get the confirmation you need from the right team. And then here's another feature called advanced permission. That is to say, with the red setting, you can control the limit, the visibility of this sheet to certain group of people. Like within the same chart, you can see, for me, maybe I can only see the first record. And for my team member, maybe they can see the record that's only relevant to them. So basically, that's the agenda for today. So let's get started and to say the general conception of base. So if you want to create a new base, there are two places to go. So first, you find the document in the navigation bar, and you can always create a new one. Sorry, it takes a while here. Click the button here, and you can choose base. So basically, all the online file in the forms of document, sheet, slides, and base and form can be created from this entry. This is place one. And apart from that, you can see, click the button here, can also create a new base form. So when you click it, you can see there are already plenty of templates that are established in advance. So if you don't know how to structure a business system from scratch, you can always find the scenario that you are interested in and to alter the templates a little bit to customize your own. Like this one, you can always click it and use the template. Then you are directed to the template you just created, and you can do the alternation based on the template you just created. So that's how you can create a new base. Let me create a brand new one for you to see what it looks like if you build one from scratch. Just give it a second. Yeah, this is what a base would look like if you create a new one. So as you can see on the left part of this interface, all the tables, all the dashboards, all the documents related to this system will be listed on the left part. This is a brand new one, so there is only one table sheet. Like this one that I've already established before, there are several ones. And for this one, for this system, even much, amplified. You can see here is a table, but here is a dashboard. So basically on the left part, all the things related to this base system will be listed accordingly. And then when you click it, on the right part would be the detail of this table sheet. So for each table, it will be a sheet in an Excel. And for a dashboard would be looks like this, like the thing I just showed you before. You can always create a new dashboard. If you want to create a new one, you can expand the window here to choose the type of form or the table sheet or the dashboard you want. And of course, sometimes this could be working as a project management system. So as a project management system, maybe sometimes you need a document to clarify what this project is about, and the working scope and the responsibility of each team member, and the collective goal of this project, and so far all the things that we need to align beforehand. So maybe under that circumstances, you need to set up a new document. You can always click the document, have a new document, and have this document like listed at the first place, something with like, you can name it as a project intro, rename it, maybe highlight it a little bit. So for the, and if you have multiple tables, you can always have them foldered. Like this sheet, this table sheet is leads related. And another one, thank you so much for your enthusiasm. And another one would be all the dashboards. And then drag all the dashboard you want to like categorize together. So now you have a basic sense about the interface of base system. On the left hand, all the kind of platform or the kind of medium that you use to put in your data can be categorized, can be used, can be organized and arranged in the left part. And once you click it, the details of this chart will be displayed on the right hand. And then I'm going to introduce what how do you use the main interface on the right hand. Okay, let's go back to maybe this chart. It's called project management. So let's use a task grid. So you can see this table is called task. So basically all the tasks related to this project will be like listed here one by one. As you can see, every row is a new record. You can always click here and add more record to the table, to this table. And each column is called field in base system. So we don't call it a column, we call it a field. And for each field, we do support all kinds of types within this field. As you can see, I can always create a new one. You can see every time you click the button here, you can choose the field type and to decide which one caters to your preference the most. And I'm gonna explain a little bit the most commonly used ones. Text is the most common one. I don't need to elaborate on that. And then we do have single option and multiple options. So why do we have single and multiple options? We can see from here. This field is called priority. So for each task, we do want to assign different degree of priorities to them. So for the priority field, we use single option and we customize the options here. Like you can also change the color for each option to make them more obvious. Like for P0 question, P0 job, you want this to be marked as red or something to be marked as green, as you can see. You can adjust the color of the appearance here. But apart from that, you can customize it in the way of single option. And then you can, it's not, when you only have like 10 tasks, it's easier for you to identify them and to track each task. But imagine if you got like 100 tasks here, you really need to filter the important ones to focus on. You really need to group them in the way that you want. So under that circumstances, you really need a condition to group or to filter. So if you do have this field customized in the form of single option, then you will have a condition to filter. Let me show you here. If you want to filter the tasks that are only on the condition of P0, you can choose the priority here when priority is P0. So if you set this to be single option, so you get to choose the different option here. But if you set this as the form of text, you don't get to choose. There's no way for you to clarify all these tasks by their priority. So that's a key thing about why sometimes you would like to use single option or multiple options instead of the text form. So here, if you choose like P0, as you can see, all the important tasks will be filtered here. So for us, what would we do commonly? I'm going to delete the filter here. So for me, I would always leave a data sheet to suggest all data here. Like I will rename it like all data, full data, just for the storation. And then I'm going to create a new one to say all the P0 tasks. And this can be important to me, so I'm going to arrange it here. So for this view, I'm going to filter all the tasks that are urgent to me. And for this data sheet, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to edit this. So you can always choose it. You can always to set the settings, to set the permission for this single view. You can say it can be a public view now, so it means all the collaborators can modify it. And then you can have it locked. So everyone can see it, but no one can touch it except for you. And then you can have it to be a private view. So for this one, if for this view, it's only for me to focus on the job that are relevant to me. So maybe I will name it as P0 task. I would name it as my name is Sidney. So maybe in this list would be the tasks related to me. So I would put this as a private view. If this is a private view, that means all the collaborators wouldn't even know the existence of this view, but every time I'm visiting this system, I get to see this. So I won't be bothering the others to, in the middle of a collaboration. So that's why it's important for us to wisely use the single and multiple options. And apart from that, you can see, you can filter the records from here. And of course, you can customize the formatting. How would you like to suggest and display your data through group? You can group the table by, you can say, first of all, by project. We now have 4 main project here. And then you want to see under each project, maybe the status of each task. So you can see under project 1, for not started task, there's 1. For the ongoing task, there's 1. So you get to customize, and you can change the order by the grouping. If you put the status condition at the first, you can say that all records will be categorized by their status, and under each status, you can see the project they fall into. So this is how you can customize the display of your data sheet by grouping. And of course, you can always have them sort by the field. Like you can sort by the start date, from the earliest date to the latest date, or from the latest date to the earliest date. You can see this is a latest date. Recurring task in base, or like this, then you are gonna need to use automation. I'm gonna explain this in the automation later. Yes. So here, is how you can manage the display of your general formatting here. Apart from this, like I just showed you before, sometimes I would create all kind of views to suggest the focus of current project. Like here, every time I create a new view, like the one we are suggesting right now, is called grid view. It's the most common view that all of us are quite familiar with. And apart from that, you can use Kanban view. So what is a Kanban view is like? This one is a Kanban view. So basically all the details of one record will be displayed in the form of a card. And of course, you can customize the information you want to display on that chart, on this card. Like if you want to display more, just keep the eye open. And you don't want to show the start date of this message, you think it's not important, just close it. So you get to customize the kind of information you want to display on each card. And of course, you can see all these cards now are categorized according to the priority. Why we can do that? Because the priority is set in the form of single option. If you want to change, maybe sometimes you want to change, you can have them organized by the status, by the person. Like under Kevin, you can see under Kevin, he has like 2 tasks. For the rest of the people, they only have 1. So maybe sometimes you need to consider the workload for each team member, so you could adjust their like working rhythm or something. So another thing you could really try on is this Kanban view. And it highly depends on the single and multiple option setting that you've done within each view. And then we do all have a Gantt view. This one is a Gantt view. So basically you get to see the time span for each task. Like under this project, we have 3 different tasks, and for each task we can see the time span, the executor of each person, and we could really have all the job arranged in your own way. And very similarly, you can customize how many information you want to suggest within this form, and you can customize the grouping logic in your own way. Previously we had it displayed according to the project. Now it's displayed according to the project status. So you get to customize in the way that you really need, and you can always filter the data you want to display. Like for this, I'm only pay attention to the tasks who are not finished. So maybe the status does not contain completed and suspended. Then this will be the target data we want to display and analyze further. So it will be Kanban view. And we do have a gallery and calendar view. So for calendar view, let me find another one to see. This one is a calendar view. So basically you can see from the grid view, you have a certain date that is important to you and you want to track on that particular date. You can start a calendar view here, and you can find all the important record will be marked on the according date. And then we have gallery view. We don't have how to create a QR code at facial. You have to be particular about your question, like what do you want this QR code is for, to collect data or to invite the people to add you as a contact or something. And we do have a gallery view, but I don't have attachment uploaded to the chart yet, so you don't get to see the picture here. So normally if I'm serving a influencer company, if they are running talents and agents, sometimes they need to build this kind of gallery to manage all the information about to. Got it. I'm gonna show you guys later. The next topic will be about how to collect the document and photos through the form. Let's continue with the gallery view for now. And so if you are managing something like visual management, visual assets, you can use the gallery view, and the main display factor will be the picture or the attachment that you've uploaded to the grid view, to the according place. Like for this field, you can see it's called attachment, and you can certainly upload the photos, videos, PDFs, documents, or the offline files within your computer. So you can see here are the main differences between each view. But one thing to bear in mind, that is For all these different views, for the full data view, Sidney's task view, view by project view, all these views, we actually share the same group of data. No matter how you filter it, how you group it, actually we are sharing the same data here. It's just a different way for us to display them that could help us to work better and to focus better. So that is one thing to bear in mind. And now with the single and multiple option, we've seen the how we can use different views for now. And someone just asked me about how we can collect data. Of course, we can continue that topic because that is also very important. You can see here, we do have another thing called form view, but form view is different from the any views above. If I'm creating a form view here, you can see it basically looks like a questionnaire. And you can see the questions here listed are task, project status, end date, priority. And you can see for each question is actually the field name for this grid view chart. The first field is called task, project, priority, status, start, end date. So basically all the fields will be automatically generated as a new question in the form view. So what is form view is for? It's exactly for you to collect data. When you have some collaborators who are not using Lark right now, who are somewhere else, maybe they are suppliers, they are contractors, they are like purely external contact to you. Under these circumstances, you don't want to share this kind of data sheet, the link to them directly, because there will be so many collaborators or stakeholders together, and some data can be really sensitive, but you still need them to fill in the data. Under these circumstances, one thing, of course, you can have them just edit here, add more record from the grid view. Another thing, to create a form here, to alter the question that you need. Like for the task, maybe you need them to submit the task, or maybe you need them to, I'm going to use this one. It's a issue request report. It's more like a ticketing system. So basically you can say, you basically need to tell them which branch you are in, and what kind of request you have, which station you are at, what kind of issue you have, and if you need to elaborate on the image, on the question you need to submit extra images, pictures, and need to be taken or something. So you create a new form, you choose the question that need to be concluded. Like you can always add more questions from the field that you created before, and you can always remove it if it's not necessary, and mark this as required if you need someone to submit this question, or else they won't be able to submit it. That's how you customize the whole form. And apart from that, you can see this form is already alive. For this form, it's not alive. So how do you like activate it? Click here, invite respondent, turn this on, and you can see here is a link. This is a link for this form only. So for anyone who has access to this link, they can able to fill in this form and submit, but they won't see the data deep down saved in your base system. Create multiple. You can have like multiple questions, but you do need to be aware of that. All the questions or all the answers you've collected through this form will be stored in the same table sheet. Like you cannot have several table sheets and you want to collect the data through one form and have the form to be synced back into 3 different table sheets. That won't be accessible. Yeah, so maybe for the field, you need to for the field name, you need to do a little bit of changement. Like for the first question, maybe you just name it in the way part 1, question 1, and part 2, question 1, something like that, to make the difference here. Yeah. I'm gonna answer the question later. Let me continue with the sharing part. So basically, you can send the link to anyone who are able to, who can get access to it. And of course, QR code is also acceptable. And of course, sometimes maybe you don't want anyone who get the link to be able to submit the thing that they want. Then you can limit them to only invited people, and you can add them into the respondents. Of course, in this way, they have to have a Lark account. They have to have a Lark account at least, but it can be a free one. It can be a basic plan for them. Yeah, so that's how you can collect data from your external contact. If, like someone said before, you want to collect documents, you want to collect pictures, these are different field type that you need to set beforehand. Like if you need a picture to be uploaded, you read the field you're gonna need is called attachment, right? You're gonna name the field as pictures. So when you are customizing this form, you add the pictures into this one and mark this as required. So when you're collecting data from external contacts, they can submit the picture that you need. But if you want them to be uploading, let's say Microsoft Word file, it still will be an attachment field. But you want someone to be submitting a Lark document, then maybe under these circumstances, you won't be needing any attachment field, because for all the online file that can be sent across, all you need to do is a simple text feature, or yeah, text feature. I think it will be fine, like the document. I'm just find any random document here. You can see every time I'm pasting the link of a certain file within Lark, the name of this file will be automatically transferred. But of course, if a link from Google Sheet or something, it will be stay at the form of a link. Like if just say it's a Google link, you copy the link here, it will be look like this, but still you will get the message and the information well stored. I'm gonna review your questions now a little bit. Can you want to task to be filled from users to us as IT, and each one will catch a task and work on it? You want the task to be filled from users to us as IT team, and each one will catch a task. So basically, you're gonna use the form view to collect all the tasks from the external groups from other team, and then you need to have someone have all the tasks assigned manually, I do think. Or else, if you do have some kind of business logic beforehand, like for member A, who's responsible for like software issue, number B responsible for hardware issue, then everyone submitting something under software issue, the person who's in charge will be synced or will be notified automatically can do, only if you have this kind of sending logic beforehand, or else you need to assign all the tasks by yourself. So how could you assign a task by yourself? Like how could you make sure all the tasks fall into the right person and this person can get the notification? This is another thing you need to do beforehand. So when you are setting, like for this task, let's ignore the executor field here, okay? I'm gonna create a new one, like the person in charge. So here, you need to set the field type as the person type. And then you are gonna select the person from your contact. That is to say, from here. From the contact within your organization. So you can say, I can send Judy. Judy is gonna be the one who's responsible for this task. And when I'm setting the red automation, that's how Judy can get the notification correctly. Or else if you use this as a pure text form, PIC, and you just type the name of Judy. Of course, from the sheet, you will know Judy is going to be the one who's responsible for this, but when you are setting the automation, she still won't get the right notification then. That's the first step you need to do. And the second step is to set the right automation. I'm going to show you how to do the automation later. And for the thing I just referred before, like if you want, like Judy is responsible for hardware, manufacturing maintenance, and every time a ticket related to hardware will be automatically assigned to Judy. How we are going to do that? You are going to need to use a field that is called two-way or one-way link. No, called lookup, sorry. Got messed up. It's called lookup. I'm going to show you how to build a lookup. It's a very advanced, but must have a compulsory field you need to know. So here is Judy, and this is a person, and this is the service type. Yes, I'm gonna do that later. This would be the service type, like Judy will do like hardware. Like for me, I'm gonna do it's for Judy. So this is like the PIC scope. You need at least one sheet for you to maintain all the master data, like who's responsible for something. It's not important. I'm gonna just number it. From here, let's say this table would be an actual ticketing system, like someone outside the group submit something. Issue type, and the issue type is called hardware maintenance. You can also reference the type from here. Hardware maintenance, and you want the name of Judy to be like display automatically. So who's the PIC? Then for the PIC, since you want this field to be synced automatically, you need firstly set this type as the lookup. And then you want you need to collect the target table of this data from. Like for this one, you need the Judy's name from the PIC scope table. And the particular field that you are setting here is called person, right? Because we name the PIC's field, we name it as the person. And then you're going to collect the reference data. That is to say, the field in the target table in this table is called service type. When the service type in this table match the service type of current table, that is to say, current table is a ticket table. It's called issue type. When the condition met, the name of this table will be automatically synced into this field. As you can see, Judy's name will be generated. Like if I choose software maintenance, it will be my name. That's how you can set up a lookup logic. You have to be aware of the first row you're collecting here is to choose the target table of your data, the data that you want to set for. So the target table and the target field, and then you set the condition to help you match the data. And another thing you really need to focus is that this syncing logic have to be one and only, because you can say, let's say for Judy, if she's monitoring like so many things, no, maybe not for Judy, like for hardware maintenance, if multiple people can be responsible for the same job, like me and Judy are all looking at it, the both of our name will be synced together. So sometimes you really need to be cautious, like if the condition that you use to match across the table is the one and only, there cannot be any duplicating views in that table. But basically here is how you can use a lookup feature across the table. Several things you need to be cautious. One thing, you need a form or you need a table to have all the master data saved beforehand. And then you need to make sure the syncing logic, the syncing condition is one and only. And then you follow the step that I've set here. You can have all the things, all the messages like to be synced automatically. That is how you can use a lookup feature in this form. I say, have we missed out any other time? So him here, group is another kind of field. You can add the group within the organization into the base table, any group here. So basically still when you're using automation, you want to send a message to a certain group, they can be identified because all the group is already here within the chart. Date, I don't need to explain that. Attachment, you need to upload file. Number, if you need number, you can customize the display style, the display format to make sure the number is suggesting the way you want. Checkbox, link, formula. One thing is particular special about formula for the base. That is to say, you can see from here, for a formula, once you set this column to be a formula type, this formula you set for this type will apply to all the records here. So basically, like for this one, for this column from record 1 to 11, they all use the same formula row here. You don't get to customize a certain cell within this table to use one kind of formula and another cell to use another one. Once you've set it, all records will apply the same row under this column. So this is one thing that is very different from Excel that you are using right now. So really you need to be cautious about that. And for the formula writing or formula grammar, you can always go to the Lark Help Center, our official website, to check on all the formula writing guidance. And of course, later after this session, I'm gonna send the link of all the formula writing grammar guidance to the Lark on Air webinar group, so you get to have them checked from your end. And you can also see from the help center, you can be directed to the red part to get the support. Yeah, that's how you can use a formula. Yeah, email can be sent, but only if you are using like Lark email now, or if you don't have any configuration with Lark email, you cannot use it. But if you are currently using it, you can send the notification through email. And you don't have to have a Lark email with a domain with Lark. If you have a Google Mail or have something else, you can always have them sync with your Lark email. If you're gonna need this still, leave me a to do. I'm gonna send you the link on how to do that, how to sync the like Google email to your Lark email, so you can basically have a identifier for you to send the notification. It's a simple configuration, several steps to do only. Flow button numbering, phone number. So here would be like the these are more like fun features for you to try it out, like the currency, the rating is pretty self-explanatory. You try this out, you could find this from your own. And for all the person field and the date field, you can say, as you can see from here, if you choose like the created by, if the person who's creating this new record will be automatically synced into this form, into this cell, like just name it test. Someone who's modified this will also can be like automatically tracked. It's like a shortcut for you to, to identify the certain person, to track the certain alternations that you've done to this table. Also, this one, the date created, that means the date of this record is created. It will also be automatically written. Like every time you are submitting a ticket, you don't need to submit the date field and to write down the date that you submit the ticket. Actually, the moment you submit this, the date will be like marked, will be stored automatically. That's how you can use it. And here, the last field type I want to introduce is called one-way and two-way link. So what is this for? And you can see still we are using the project management chart. We like for now, the project we are running for now, we can see there are 4 of them. So for these 4 projects, we do have 11 tasks. So one thing we need to do is to assign different tasks under different projects, like we're doing here. I'm going to delete this one for now, so you can do this better. Give me a minute. Let me check a little bit. So how could you assign different tasks on a different project? Maybe for the project, I'm gonna add a new field called task. Then I'm gonna choose two-way link. I'm gonna link the table of projects to the table of tasks. We need these two different tables to be linked together. So from here, I'm gonna choose tasks. All records maybe. So for project 1, click here, a simple click in this cell. Then I get to select, okay, the target tasks that are relevant to this project. And for project 2, maybe these two. So now you see how you can operate this. So all the tasks related to this particular project will be like stored in a single cell. And back to this sheet, to this table, you can see a field that is named projects will also be automatically generated. And you can see this task belongs to project A, and this belongs to two different projects. You can see the parent and sibling relationship between the projects and tasks can be established in this way. That's how you can use a two-way link. If you use one-way link, usually like the task, the information of task can be stored within the project table. But if you are going to the task table, the project info won't be appearing in this place. That is a one-way link. That's how you can, connect the data or connect the key information across table through one-way and two-way link. I'm gonna stop here and review your comments a little bit. Support date format. Date format other than a military format. Date format, I think we do support all kinds of date format here. You get to choose from. Once you choose the field type to be date, and the format can be this way. It depends on your own preference. Okay, query page. So when you are having a query page is more like a advanced feature. Oh, we still have like 18 minutes. I'm gonna do the automation and advanced permission first, and then if we still have time, we are gonna come back to the query page. If we don't have time, I'm gonna write something about the query page and explain this later in the post. I'm gonna send into the Lark Air website, webinar group. Let's run through the main feature first. So this is a general setting, basic setting for the base form. And apart from that, how we can make this into a business system that depends on the automation and base and advanced permission. So automation first, how you can do this. Basically only 2 steps to go. Every time you create a new one, just click here. Only steps to go. The first thing is to select the condition that you want to trigger this automation. So usually they are all set up here. When a new record is added, when a new record updates, or at a certain time, at a scheduled time. So here would be the place for you to decide under what condition you want this message to be sent. Like maybe for this one, every time a new record is added, every time a new ticket is submitted, you want the person you want the person within your team to take the assignment, to take the task. So maybe you use this type. Or when a record updates, that is to say, maybe the status of a certain task, maybe the status of something, maybe the priority of something has changed, or maybe someone has checked something. This cell was empty, but now it's filled with confirmation message or something. That is all all of these conditions can be summarized as when a record updates, then you can send a message or email. And yeah, and this one is more like when a new record or when an updated record matches certain condition. Like not only there's a new ticket, but this ticket is an important one, is an urgent one, then I'm gonna send a message. And at a trigger time, that is to say, usually when we have a due date, when we have a deadline for this task, when we have an expectation date that to be delivered with this task, then we are gonna choose at the record's trigger time. By the time, or several days before or several hours beforehand, you can have a message to be sent. And also you can do this scheduled time. You can do this scheduled time. That is to say, I know I have a dashboard and I want this to be sent to me every Friday so I can see the progress that my team member has made so far. So on these circumstances, you're going to choose add schedule time. And these two is less used, but still, when a button is clicked, we do have a field named button. So like every time you've completed all the procedures beforehand, you can click the button and to send a like summary report to your boss or to send a request to your suppliers or something like that. So it's literally a button and you can choose to click the button and send a message. Yeah, and the last one is something you need with coding. So I won't like be elaborate on this one. I'm gonna for a value is sorry, give me a minute to read. I do think we have that kind of planning to develop like mini app or at least established templates that can be used directly, but I need to confirm with the product team. And can a base record start time and end time block someone's calendar like a task can? To block one's calendar, I think you can create a, yeah, can do. It's just I never tried this before, but I think we do can. So this is the second step. When you have set the condition you want to trigger, then you are going to choose the action you want to be delivered. Normally we use a Lark message. I'm going to show you how to customize a message card and how to run them like automatically. But for the event, yes, can do. You can create an event or to delete an event. What is the condition for a value is match. And I do think you need to choose this one if you want the value to be matched. You need to choose when a new or updated record matches conditions. Like when the you means you I got you. So here maybe you need to add like more conditions together. So when they are all met, then you can choose the right action. Yeah, I can understand your question better if you are gonna provide me with more details. Or I'm gonna always send the feedback link later. If you do have questions that you cannot elaborate through the text or through the message, you can have them explained more in the feedback survey so I can get back to them one by one. Is there a chance to segregate the columns of the main items from the sub-record? Segregate the column. Also, can we have automation to auto create sub-record? We do have automation to create to create a new record. Here, you can always add new record based on the condition you set. But for the separation part, I sorry I didn't get it. So maybe you need to explain further. Invites can be added to their calendar. I think the most thing we could do is to create a calendar invite or event invite for them. So the next step, it really depends on the person who you invite, whether or not they want to accept this event. Yes, but we can send the invite. But I do think this invite, one thing we need to be clear is that this invite will be sent within Lark. Like you barely can send a Lark email with a established Lark event built beforehand. Don't really think so. They have to be all the members who are gonna accept who can see this Lark event will be using a Lark account. Yeah, record is I got you. You mean this kind of we can give this a test. Yeah, can do. So you can see the number of tasks, it's a number field. You can choose the number to be like greater than 100 or is 100. Under these circumstances, a certain workflow will be triggered. So can be solved, this question. Yeah. I'm gonna show you guys how to do card, how to do a message card. So we're gonna use this one every time a new record is submitted and match certain conditions. Let's use this one task. Let's see the task name. The status is not empty. So every time a new task submitted and the status is not empty, some Lark message will be sent. So first, you're gonna choose who's gonna be the one to send this message. It can be a base bot. So the feature we're using now is called base. We do have like in built-in app bot to send the message, or it can be the person who's responsible for this particular record. Like if I'm the person who's submitting this record, you can choose yourself. You can choose yourself as the person who's gonna be sending this message. Usually I would choose the bot instead. And you can choose who this message it will be delivered to. It can be a single person. It can be a group chat. For this one, you can see it's a group chat. And for this one, it can be a single person. And then here would be the title of this message card, like new task come in. Customize the color of this card. And for the message, there are two ways to customize it. I'm going to show you the simple one first. So maybe you can just write the message down that you need. Like, here is a new task. Send to you. Check it out. And you can have some button customized. You are going to know what the button will look like. The text you want to appear on that button, you can have this adjusted. And the button style, simply, the difference is simply different formatting. Like for the primary button, it looks like a blue one. For the negative button, it looks like a red one. You try this out yourself, then you know the difference. And when the button is clicked, you can choose to redirect to the like to this base. You can set this way or to the record that is relevant. So it's a very simple automation. Look like this. The title. I'm gonna turn off the auto translation. In a second. So this is the title we just customized. It looks like an urgent one. And this is the message we customized for this card. And when I click now, check now. So this is a button we just designed. Click check now, and we'll be jumping back or directed back to this base form with this particular task. But there's one thing that we might be, we might be very bothered. That is, every time a new task come in, that is a brand new status, different priority, different PIC, different issue types. So what if I want this message card to be very highly customized? Every time I just set up one workflow, one automation workflow, but every time the new task come in, the message here will change by the content of that particular record. So how we can set up something like that? Then you cannot just tap the message here, because the message here is fixed. No matter what kind of new task is like, all the same message will be showed in this way. So if you want to display certain message of the new record, you need to, like, first thing you need to think about what dimensions, how many aspects of that information I want to display to the certain people. So maybe for me, for a new task, I need to know what the task is about, right? You need the task name, and you want the task status, task priority. All of these things are already being established as the different fields within the table. Let's set it three at first. For the task name, you want the name to be suggested as this new task, right? So you're gonna click here. You're gonna choose the records met the condition in step one. That is to say, you are targeting the single record that met the condition. And here you want to suggest task name. So you choose the first field. It's called task, right? Because for the field that is called task, it will be equals to the concept of task name here. And for the task status, still you're gonna choose the record that meet the first step and status. And for the priority will be here. Ask. Let's see, do we have anything else to suggest? PIC? So this is how you can have your like message card really customized. You just need to set up this for once, but every time a new task come in, you can get different message from the window, from the notification card. And similarly, if for each task you have different people to notify to, like every time a new task come in, I can't have them all be sent to Judy, right? Judy might be only responsible for a part of them. So maybe you need this record to be sent to the person who is exactly to be the PIC of this task. So who is in the PIC column for this record will be get a notification of this new task. Under these circumstances, all the tasks won't be sent to the same person. So that's how you can custom this for good. And you can save it. And for all the created workflow here, you can always turn it on and turn it off. And you can change the name of this workflow, like new task. You can send a preview here. As you can see, if this is a real task coming, the name of that task, the status, the priority, the PIC will be shown in this place. And you click the button, you will be directed to the single task record that you need to pay attention to. That's how you basically can structure a simple workflow from your end. Yes, and I'm gonna go to the automation first. Do you have a question for now? Let me check a little bit. How do we input efficiently if you already have data for all data using this? Oh, you want to like, you can always submit. Let me think. I think there is a way you can upload. You can, because I don't have a data file, like offline data file from the desktop, but you can always input this and transform it into a Lark sheet or Lark Base. And then all you need to do is to do some mild alternation. It won't be like too much trouble. You don't need to tap all the things one by one. I'm still gonna send the link to the chat box later. Leave me to do. Is there a way to send email blast automatically to multiple emails at once so that a list of recipients can be notified without manual selection or triggering? So that a list of recipients can be notified. I do think we can send email to a bunch of people, but this email needs to be documented at the first place in the table sheet here. Is a task need extra action from the user and I need as anti-connect for that, can multi-direction communication be done? Needs extra action from the user and I need as anti to kind of for chat. Can do multi-direction, but I do think it's I cannot elaborate how to do that because it's more like a business consultation thing. I need to know the exact workflow you are using right now. Then I can show you what kind of table format we can do and how to set the automation right so we can have the progress done. But if it's a yes or no question, it can be done. So maybe for the next session, we're actually designing a base-focused session. Like for class 1, we are addressing record and field only. For lesson 2, we are gonna address automation. And for each class, we will like issue the survey first for you guys to submit the scenario you have for now, and maybe we can invite you guys to be talking with us and we can show you how we can address a problem and using your working scenario as a case. So when we are collecting cases, by then I will let everyone know. So that will be one channel for you to get to know us and to find the help and to get the actual support. Because for now, I can only show you how to do the basic settings, how to do the feature function. But if you want to build a very smooth system, I really need to get to know the working workflow from your side. And it takes time and takes communication, a formal communication platform for us to know better. Will Lark sync natively to Google Sheet? I do think we have a solution for that, but I'm not 100% sure. But even we have an integration solution now, you still need the IT team to do some configuration from the backend, from the admin console, then you can use the connector. But I do think we already have a connector so far. Yes. So data syncing issue, email configuration issue, and Google Sheet syncing issue. I'm gonna send you the link to the help center later. Yes. Let me mark this down for a little bit. Email syncing. Google Sheet. Data input. Yeah. And back to the theme. We're done with the automation. Now here is for the advanced permission. We would say we have like the very detailed and granular level control for the permission of the single data sheet. Like I said to you before, for the same table, even for the same table here, different people with different permission can only see different level of data that are only open to them. So how can you have this customized? Here, the first thing you need to think about is to think about the roles related to this particular table sheet. That is to say, if let's say it's a sales revenue board, so for the sales revenue number, it can be highly sensitive, and we definitely don't want the sales to know each other's performance metrics. So for this kind of sheet, there are different roles you need to clarify. Maybe the first group is called management level. So for all the management team, they can share the same group of permission. And then we can set up another group, another role called sales in East region. So maybe all the sales on the East region will share the same group of permission. And then we have another role called like the sales operations. So for the people who's be responsible for the like targeting, forecasting, responsible for the opportunity management, they could be sharing the same group of permission. So the first thing you need to think about is how many kinds of roles I should be classified, I should be categorized into. So every time you have a group of role, you add a new role here, you name it, like this one, it's called East Region Sales. You name this group of role, and then you get to customize the permission level for each table under this group of people. So first thing you need to do to think about how many rows you need to assign to. And here, for each row group, you can assign different, you can invite different people into the same group, like Judy, like me, like Simon. Okay, save. So under this row, we have 3 members here. And for these 3 members, they are gonna share the same kind of permission that we've set for them. So here is how you can set like the permission for each table. Let's use a task table, for example. So you can see, first thing is that for the general permission of this table, these people can manage, can edit, can view, or no access at all. Usually we need them to edit a little bit because sometimes they need to confirm, sometimes they need to submit a new ticket, they need to fill in the pictures, or they need to deliver something, they need to do the a certain kind of action or execution need to be documented within that table. So usually we choose edit. Okay, so if this person can edit for this table, then we are gonna control more detailed permission from here, from specific permissions. Firstly, for each record, you can say for each record, for all the field and for all the views we've created, you can set them one by one. So for each record, you can say, does this person allowed to add new record and delete record? If they can they delete or add like all records, all the records that are only relevant to them? So how can you define relevant? It can be a very vague concept, like how would I know this record is relevant to Sidney and not relevant to Simon? First thing is that this record, if this record is only created by me, if I'm the one who's creating this record, I'm the one who's submitting the ticket, of course it's related to me. So all the record that is created by me will be seen as relevant to me. So I get the chance to edit this record. And apart from that, there's another standard for us to decide if this record is relevant to them. That is to say, the following fields contain this member's own record. That is to say, beforehand, you can see we can have this field to be set as a person type. And if I'm let's put my name under this. So back to the advanced permission, back to the permission, relevant. No person field. Oh, sorry, it's a wrong table in this table. Okay, in this table you can see when the person field is put into my name, when my name is into this person field for this record, then this record would also be seen as relevant to me. So if this is created by me, or if the person field has my name in it, under these two cases, in these two cases, this record will be seen as relevant to me. And then the record that can be viewed, for here, you're deciding if this person can edit or delete or not. And for the record that can be seen or not by them, you can choose all record or still the things that are relevant to them. Or you can like strict this even more with your own conditions, like records that meet only certain conditions, like only the priority is not important, so can be added by this person. Still, when the priority is not important, can be seen by me. So basically, you can say for each record, you firstly decide if this person can edit or not, can read or not. And for the edit and read part, you decide if it's all records, if it's something related to them, or you have your own conditions to decide. That's how you can set record permissions. And then this is field permissions. So for each record, there will be like tens, dozens of fields. For the single records or fields, you can choose if you want this group of people to be able to edit all fields, or to customize your own permission control. Like for all these fields, you want them to view it. If you don't want them to view the priority, just unclick it. And of course, they cannot add or edit it. And for this like person field, you want this to be seen to them, but they cannot add or edit it, just unclick it. So for the record, for the single record, the permission for each column, for each field can also be customized by you. And then for the view permission, for all the view, you can choose you want all views all be like all the specific views to be opened by them. So here is how you can set up advanced permission. Firstly, you decided what kind of roles are here. You invite the right people into the same group, and you choose the table sheet that you are gonna set the permissions for. And here to set the general control, the record control, the field control, and the view control. And for the record control, you need to define the limitation. All records relevant to them, or the records that meet your own conditions that you get to customize later. So here for the main data. And the dashboard and the automation and the others can be really simple. You just click it on. That means you issue the permission. Do you need the dashboard, the BI dashboard to be viewed by the others? The automation, do you want the others to be able to sing it out to this? The most complicated part would be the data part. And you can try this out from your end. Just wait for a little bit to review the questions so far. And we are really close to the ending. I'm gonna show you the dashboard later, and I think we are good for this session. Lark Base tables are possible to connect to other business. Yes, can do, but still it requires lots of like developing and coding work from your end. But we do have APIs to you. I'm gonna send you the API, a Lark API website later to the group chat so you can see the instruction from our official website. If you want to see the dashboard, I'm gonna use this one. So here is a revenue insight. So basically for the dashboard, you can see all the revenue situation, the general number, the by region income situation, like the agent or the customer type, or by AE, different people's performance and stuff like this. So if you want to have a dashboard, just click here. You can have a brand new one. You can always add a block. So you can see here are all the charts that we've supported so far. From here are from like official Lark website. And here are some extensions that might be chargeable. I'm not quite sure because these are more likely developed by our ISVs, by our partners. But still you can use some free ones, free plugin if you want. Here are all free. The blue icon here. So first thing, you need to decide what kind of chart you're going to use. Is it a column? Is it a pie chart? Is it a bar chart? So or is just a pure number? If you want a pure number, just use a matrix. Like for now, maybe I want to calculate how many leads I have. So this number would be called like leads number. Leads number. Management, if you need to filter, you can filter this a little bit. But if you don't need, like if I want this to be suggesting all the leads from our tech company, from tech client, you can have a filter, or you have the full data from the table you just cite. And here, because I'm only counting the number here refers to the number of the records, how many records number we have in this chart. So you don't need to do any changes. But if you want to do some calculation, like you want to see the income for all the client, so maybe you need to do the like field summary. But there's no like number field in the chart, so you cannot customize in that way. Here, confirm. So a little like number card will be suggesting in this place. And also, if we are creating a column, let's see, maybe op management, and we want to say the stages we are at for all the opportunities. As you can see, this one is for the negotiation, committed, and sent proposal. So we have 3 stages, and under each stages, we want to see how many clients are included. So you choose the right place to have your data source and to decide if you're going to filter it or not, to choose the kind of chart you want, or although you've already choose beforehand. But if you do have a second thought, you want to do some alternation, you can always change the chart type here. And then you can use the theme to customize it a little bit, to show how many labels you want to suggest or not. And here is how you can like customize the access for you. Here you can see we categorize all the clients in accordance to their opportunity stages. But still, you can custom them by the industry, or you can say, okay, we have different client pipelines fall into different industries of the size organization. You can see SMB customer, only 3 of them, but the KA customer, we have also 3 of them. So you can like have your access to customized in this way. And for the y-axis, it can be like record number. For now, we are calculating the customer number, right? But if I want to say how many income I could get from the customer who are under the size, who are SMB customer, who have employee under like 10 people, then you are going to choose field summary. And you are going to choose the field that is usually set as the number field. And here it's called like opportunity, a closed ARR, or estimated revenue. Maybe I'm going to be more curious about the closed ARR. That means the money that I already earned. So for me, I can see for all the customers under 10 people, 10 employee, I have already gained this much revenue from them. So this is how you can use a number of records and the field summary. And furtherly, you can have all these column regrouped. Now they are regrouped by the name, or you can regroup by the industry. So you can see from the customer size for between 10 to 100, customers who are working for the health industry and who are in the science and technology industry. And you can see they are basically break even, half and half. So you can have all the numbers like grouped by further by the labels, by the data that you've already built beforehand. And on the right side, customize, you basically get to customize the font for the number, the title, color. For the series, you want all the series to be suggested in a certain color, or you want like the customer from the internet industry to be appearing as like red. Oh, it's called here is a filling color to be suggested as red. Another column or another series to be suggested as like purple. So basically for the custom part, it's for you to help to build this chart even beautiful, more beautiful. But here is a place where to set the logic, right? Where to select and filter the red data from your table sheet. So that is how you can customize like a chart sheet, chart graph from this end. And you can always drag it to alter the shape to make it look good. And of course, if you have a group of chart that is reflecting the same situation, addressing the same topic here, you just add a layout block. You can have them like aligned, formatted together, and you can always change the color in the ways you like to make it more beautiful, to suit it your own way. You can see. So here is how you can customize a dashboard from your end. Basically, you have all the data that is arranged and corrected beforehand. Then you always add a new block to choose the form you want, to choose the chart you want, select the right data sheet, select the right settings, configurations, and then you are good to go. And for a dashboard, it can be really useful during a weekly meeting when you are doing a report or something. And when you're doing this, you can choose the full screen mode. And you can see it's like a proper dashboard from your end. It's not like a mediocre chart. It's dynamic. And you can see you click the number here, the details of this group of customers, the details of this group of data will be displayed accordingly. So it's not a number only. All the details will be synced at the real time. And the number here in your table sheets, every time they change, the dashboard will change automatically. It's all in real time. And also you can always set an automation for the dashboard. Like you can select a time, choose if you the kind of scheduled time you want to set for it, like every Friday. Starting this Friday, every Friday weekly, I'm gonna send this dashboard to a certain group so we can monitor the metrics better. That is one way for us to track the things and to keep all the trends in mind, to keep all the fluctuations in our side. And this dashboard can also be single-handedly shared with the external contact. Like generate the link, and you can choose only invited people can view, or the people within the same organization can view, or anyone on the internet who has access to the link can view it. So this can also be shared with the right person. That is how you can build a dashboard from your end. Yes. And so basically we are good to, we are covering all the major functions related to Base for now. I'm gonna to say the questions a little bit. Google Sheet sync to Lark Sheet. I do think I've already answered that question. I do think we've had a existing connector, but you do need extra work and coding things to do to have this connector running. Like it's not a plugin to click on and off so you can get them sync. You need some extra work to do. And I'm gonna send the link to the webinar group chat later to make sure, yeah, you can see the full instruction on how to do that. And for dashboard, can we join with other online data source like Circle or Google Sheet? Let's say I'm not quite sure, but I don't really think so, unless you can have all the data synced into the table sheet beforehand. Good for the dashboard part, the only data source you can choose from is through the data sheet within this table. But for each table with all the numbers and stuff, this can be synced from external data sources. But still, there won't be like the existing connectors for you to do so. You need extra like developing work, coding work to do that. But we do have an API platform for you to check how many APIs you can use to make sure if all the data from your external system can be synced back to us. Because for the permission or the limitation of external system, there's no control with us. We don't really have a pull with it. So you need to double check with the supplier, with the contractor from your quarantine system to make sure if this data can be exported into Lark so we can do some analysis based on Base. Yes. That's all for today's session. I think if you do have question, you can always submit, and I'm gonna share the feedback survey here. Like I said before, because for the base, all we can do is to walk you through all the major features for now. But if you want to build a perfect system, I really need to be aware of what your scenario is, what is the current workflow you are currently using right now. So if I couldn't answer your question in time within this session, and you really want to get the answer of it, so please make sure you can scan the QR code here and leave the feedback. You can elaborate your question, your working scenario in this part. So if I can understand this from my end, I will provide the solution and provide the answer in the group later. Yeah, so feel free to forecasting, it depends on you. Still you need to explain this to me further. Like, of course we can do some kind of forecasting with the right number, but if you want to do forecasting, the thing is not about the I think from what I think, it's not about the system you use, it's about how you are gonna manage it. The management system, the management logic cannot be cannot be like replaceable. So only if we know how you manage your current opportunity for now, then we can provide solution on how to work them better. Yes. So you can always take a screenshot now for the QR code and submit the form so we can get your questions and get back to you later. Yes. Thank you so much. See you on Thursday, maybe. Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.